Okay, what's up guys, welcome back to a Galand Cross video, and today we're having a monthly update on our tier list, and a lot of things are going to change. Also, you can see on the side as well, and I guess at the bottom here if it's on the screen, 10 new characters have been added. Obviously this one all in 1 month, but it's been a month since I've actually last done the tier list. If anything, Ester Rosa should be in the next month's tier list because he did come out in, was it August now? So it pretty much how it is. I might as well make a video or put him in the tier list since he's out in the game right now and he's kind of relevant. Anyway, a lot of things have changed, and if you don't know, if you're new, this is the tier list we've done for like the past 5 months now. So if you want to go see the reasoning for most characters, if I do not talk about them, they will be in the recent videos. But we're only going to be changing some things. So before we do start with the bottom ones, we are going to change some things around. And first one being Merlin, probably dropping out now into A tier since it's kind of a heavy red metal. Also, I should say, this isn't all based on PvP. It's based on everything in the game. And pretty much you'll see a common theme like how Medios is an A because obviously he's a very good PvE unit. And also, I guess, some raid stuff. But still, Medios is dropping down. He's not needed that much. Well, he's not the best character now. Almost most characters, especially like a lot of strong single target characters. And to be fair, most characters in the game right now, you don't need to hit Medios now to just one-shot things in PvP. During the start, he obviously was very useful for a lot of people, and because people didn't have high-level accounts, high-level characters, you kind of needed to rely on him just getting a massive counter. But now, yeah, he's kind of fallen off. King as well, fallen off too. Let's see. I'll now put King, the blue one, up into an S, because once again, good for almost every single thing. Good healer, good petrify for story mode, any bosses, well, most bosses. And obviously right now there is a demon chimera. That boss fight, King is also very good for it because he cleanses it, so that's why he's getting extra points. Plus right now as well, red metal, can't go wrong with blue King. He can pretty much just nuke the whole team. And then Hauser probably drop out. Yes, he's a red metal, but he's not really used in it. He's still used in Pierce teams, like with Mediovis, but you probably can use Escanor since it's more of a single target character. But yeah, he's alright now. He's not too crazy. But I think probably drop Hellbrim down too. Hellbrim's kind of in the same position as Green King. He's still usable. Once again, a red metal. He's not really in it. Yeah, kind of the Hellbrim or Kingbrim team now is kind of fallen off, so that his only real purpose was PvP. Now that's kind of gone. Still use him, petrifying for some raid bosses. Still good for raid bosses. Story mode as well, kind of in the same boat as King, but once again his main usage was PvP, and that's now been pretty much gone. Disco now dropping down as well to A. Melascula, most people know the counter now. Once again, a red metal, so you're not going to be using her as much. But we're going to be moving up Red King now, since once again penetration teams kind of run around a lot now, and he's obviously a massive counter towards it. Just kind of neutralizes the whole field, right? And for a character, he's not too crazy. I mean, he does alright damage, but his only real purpose is PvP. That's pretty much it, but because obviously his passive is so good, and obviously his ultimate as well. Don't forget, both Kings are the same. If you get a 6/6 Red King, you're doing bits, and you're going to be killing a lot of characters. Okay, so Green Barn, I'm going to move down now into the C tier. He is no longer, maybe, you know, because you can use him in like an AoE farming team, but then in PvP he's going to get wrecked in literally any color. He's not that good no more. Obviously, you can still use him, but I feel like he's just kind of fallen off. Like, he's got power crept heavily. Same for Jericho. She, like, her main usage was the guild boss, but now that's now gone. PvP, you can't use her. Literally, there's no way you can use her. Story mode as well, still kind of weak. She does get taken out quite easy, but mostly, to be fair, you can just use any other character, especially the ones at the bottom now. So both fallen off quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, for associations, they aren't really used for most people, so there's no point even upgrading them. But to be fair, you still can use them if you do want to, but it's just, there's no point. Ramiru, we're now going to move down to don't use. Just no point now. Like, his only real usage, which you still can skip, is the trainer cave, but we're not really counting trainer cave or the reverse stages, because if we were counting reverse stages, a lot of the R units are like, or mostly every bad guy will be higher up because you have to use them anyway. Red Gil Thunder, we're moving down. He was kind of useful in PvP for a minute, but now, once again, just there's no point. Red Meliodas, once again, moving down to C. Probably almost in the don't use category. No. Oh, you know, it's tough because he's still used in, he's still very good in the Crimson Demon. But then, why would you use him when you have Escanor now, the red one? And then people coming out seeing, we'll leave him in C. I'd say next month he's going to drop down to D. Don't use, because if it literally his only use is to be using the Crimson Demon, he's even at that point, there's still better characters to go towards, like Red Escanor, for example. And yeah, PvP, there's no way in hell you're using this guy. Blue Medios does exist. You can't use two Demon Medios in the same team. So once again, there's no real point or purpose of using the Red Medios. Okay, and I think that about wraps up the tier list update. Yeah, I think that's about does it. I think we can start adding new characters now. Yeah, okay. So gonna go on order release. Once again, these weren't all released in or last month, but it's been a month. Well, these are the characters that have been added since the tier list has been last updated. So a massive update this week or this month. And yeah, starting off with Red Escanor, easily a must-use character. Right now, there is heavily a red missile, and ever since he got added to the coin shop, all I'm seeing is Red Escanor. And rightfully so, right? His amplified card with Arthur is massive. Gopher as well. He does so much damage. He can remove ultimate gauges as well, which is so stupid he added that to him. And his passive as well. Make it at the start of the match. He has like for 3 turns, he's got like a massive HP increase. It's nasty. Plus, obviously being an Escanor, his ultimate does literally, it's going to kill anyone he touches. It's disgusting at what he can do. Red Galand, Elite Demon. You can see here what he does. Once again, his Petrify thing only being a real counter to Gopher. Not seeing that many Gophers, to be honest with you, so it's nothing too crazy. Strength attributes heroes ignore 5% of enemies when using skills, including counter stances. He's just not that good, to be fair. Like he removes buffs on a red. So you could very well use him in like a red team. Like it's just he's nothing too crazy. Honestly, I'd argue he goes pretty much in the same tier as the Blue Galand. Like there's no real difference between both of them. I guess the only good thing he has going for him is that he can remove stances. Not remove stances. Remove buffs, which you know with a red meta going on right now, it's nothing too bad. But he's just gonna. There's no real comp for him. To be honest, like it's just you might as well just not use him. Green Diane. We're going to put into B. So the reason why is because, once again, Diane's ult being super good. It'll almost kill most things. Mainly because right now we have Ester Rosa, and she cancels stances. But then again, she's a green, so she's going to get one hit. AoE as well, just inflict damage, just kind of holding her back, to be fair. But it increases allied defense related stats by 10% per every debuff on this hero. So a massive counter to, what's his name? Ester Rosa. Because once again, she cancels stances. Good ultimate. And Ester Rosa, every time you do attack, he does add an actual attack debuff. So you're going to get super tanky. So right now, because a lot of people are using Ester Rosa, we're going to put her in B tier. But then again, I think she might fall off a bit when Ester Rosa stops getting played. I think right now everyone's using him because he's obviously a new character. So right now, yeah, I'll put her in B. Alright, Barn. We're going to put her in C. We're skipping the attack. We're going to leave them for last, I think. Yeah, Blue Barn, literally, I think his only usage is in the Red Demon. That's literally about it. It's sucky character. I'd even put him in don't use, but considering you can use him in the Red Demon, that's literally his only purpose. But then again, we already have a Blue Barn, which you can still use. Yeah, it's just literally same boat as Blue Barn. It's kind of almost the same character, pretty much. Okay, Red Ester Rosa did get added this Tuesday. Not the greatest one. His whole gimmick is to buff up his attack when he has a debuff on him. But then the debuff he adds on him is basically attack debuff. So it's still not the greatest character. You can use him. Obviously, you can probably put him in a red team. But once again, you're not going to use him over the green one because the green one is the good one. Right now, I'd say mainly the usage of the full counter the green one has a really good skill because it activates more than once. You can last 2 turns. It removes debuffs. Obviously, he does debuff himself, and you know the fact he can cleanse himself is pretty good. Plus, he taunts, so they have to attack him. Unlike where's what the Mediolis is. SR Mediolis, this one, he does taunt. Well, he does better stance, but he doesn't taunt, so you can just avoid him. And then also the green Mediolis only works if he's weak, and he doesn't taunt, so once again, you can just avoid him. This guy you cannot avoid. If you're doing attacks, you have to actually attack him. Plus, his actual ultimate is kind of unique. It doesn't attack. It's literally a counter. So basically, if you don't know how it works, is if you attack when he does ult, it literally skips your whole turn, and he does a massive AoE attack. It's cool because if you don't know how to go against him, you're pretty much going to get destroyed by it. But if you do, you basically have to skip a turn. So if you see they have ults, you can just use him, and you have to waste a whole turn not attacking. Otherwise, you can do a massive attack. But then again, most people, if you don't have him 6/6, might just be able to tank it, especially in geared PvP because there's a lot of rules now. But still, overall, a pretty good unit, and you can't go wrong. Alright, moving on to the attack and time units. Obviously, a big part of this video, I guess, since they were, I guess, the main focus of everyone's like radar. A lot of people wanted to know if they're good or not, and very subjective. You can use them a lot for almost every single content. Like I think almost every raid boss, you can use them for PvP, PvE. All of them are very usable and probably going to all fit into A and B. Eren, let's start Eren. I guess the main one, right? Transform and Eren. He would, for me, be an A, but you have to have him at 6/6. If you don't have him at 6/6, he's literally in C tier. That's how bad he is. If like his ultimate is so bad, if you don't have him at 6/6, you can't use him. So for me, he'd be an A because I do have him 6/6. But this is a general tier list. You can't use him in PvP if you don't have 6/6. You can't use him in raid boss if you don't have 6/6. Literally, the whole point of the character, right, is to transform and have a massive buff and have your amplify card. And if you don't have, you know, a 1/6 Eren is 10%. A 6/6 Eren is 36%. So there's a massive increase, right? Literally, if you don't have 6/6, don't use him. Yeah, probably just don't use him. To be fair, he is arguably the funnest character in the game. The first Transformer character, and yeah, definitely fun. His only bad side. No, you know what? No, his actual cards are kind of sick. Basically, an Escanor card where he gets his ultimate pretty fast. He has an ultimate disable, which is kind of cool. But a lot of people, like for example, Green Escanor can just remove that. So yeah, he hits well in C right now. SR Eren, A. Are we putting him in A? He's so good. Right now, I'm red meta, and he absolutely just counters it so hard. Once again, basically, you don't know what he does. Buffs his attacks for one of his skills and evades. So if you have an ultimate, you can literally just evade and you're going to get an ultimate off. I did make a video on him and he's really good. The evasion thing he has is so good. For example, against Red Escanor, he does remove gauges. But if you had evade on, it literally does nothing. He can one-shot, very good against Red Mel. One-shot almost every like red person, especially because you did get him for free, 6/6. So everyone has him 6/6 for free. And yeah, it's just a really good unit. Levi, Red Mel, you know what? We'll put him in A, maybe? Because he cancels... No, okay, you know what? We'll put him in B. He cancels stances. So once again, good against Ester Rosa, who is being used quite a bit now. But then again, it's an ultimate. So getting an ult for him might be a bit troublesome. His whole gimmick is crits. So unless you're building a crit gear like set, he won't be too crazy. The fact you can't just like whip on an attack set on him is quite bad. His lifesteal is pretty good. But then again, yeah, don't get me, he's good, right? He's definitely more usable than most people. But in a red team, you're probably just going to use Red Escanor, who you can just pick up in the coin shop. But it's still a really good unit. I use him in the red demon, or the crimson, because he actually is kind of decent. And then lastly, Mikasa, once again going into A tier, since her actual ultimate is so good. If you don't know what she does, she buffs up her basic or her stats by 50%. And that's her stats, right? So you want to have UR gear, like the max stats you can have in her, and then she'll just basically buff that by 50%. So once again, if you have her built up quite good, it's going to be nasty. When I did use her, especially in ungeared or even in gears, she's going to survive most things, right? And in ungeared right now, I don't think she can die. Literally, if you have like all the stacked buffs right now on her. Like, you know, when someone dies, you get 20% extra like HP related stats. And her ult, like she can be nasty. And for her skills, aren't too crazy. She just does like a nice AoE single target attack. But I guess her main gimmick is her obviously her ultimate, which is super crazy. But also she does counter the red meta quite well, since, you know, red characters are running around, so having more blue characters aren't too bad. So yeah, that is the tier list. I think it's super quick now. I'm not sure how long the video is, but very subjective once again, because no, I think it's on the right tier list. A lot of changes, a lot of changes, a lot of new characters. I'd say nah. I think it overall is pretty decent. Once again, everyone's, I guess, in the A tier. Even some characters in the B tier are still very usable in PvP. But once again, it's not really a PvP content video. Like literally the A, S, and A, all very usable in guild bosses, like Valenti, for example. In just normal quest, in guild bosses, in raid bosses, in PvP. Literally, every day you're going to see these guys at least once, because they're must-use characters. And yeah, just going to wrap up today's video. Let me know what you think about the tier list, if you want to change anything. I think most people agree. Kind of sucky that Aaron's in the C tier, because for me he'll be an A, because you have to have him 6'6", so that's why he's kind of bad. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace.